Every 7 years, the person you used to be becomes a stranger, not a memory, a stranger. You pass them in the mirror and don't flinch because you've already forgotten what you lost. You think you have a self, a continuous, unbroken thread running from childhood to now. A consistent you signing documents, remembering birthdays, carrying grudges, keeping promises. You imagine yourself as a fixed point in a spinning world, stable, recognizable, real. You are wrong. Science has a name for what's happening inside your body right now while you sit there believing in yourself. Cellular turnover. Your skeleton replaces itself every 10 years. Your liver every 18 months. Your skin sheds and rebuilds every 2 to 4 weeks. The stomach lining you had last week gone. You are not a noun. You are a verb, a process pretending to be a thing. But the body is the easy part. The body is just biology. The mind is where the real erasure happens. Here is something no one tells you about memory. It is not a recording. It's a sketch. A rough outline made in pencil, redrawn every single time you remember it. Every time you recall a moment, your first heartbreak, your worst failure, the last conversation with someone you've lost, you are not retrieving it. You are reconstructing it. And reconstruction means alteration. Each retelling shifts the lines slightly. A shadow deepens. A face blurs. A feeling attached to the memory mutates, softens, sharpens, or disappears entirely. Neuroscientists call this memory reconsolidation. Every time you open a memory, you rewrite it, which means the story you've been telling yourself about who you are, the origin story, the defining wound, the proudest moment has been edited. Dozens of times, hundreds. The original is gone. You are not remembering your life. You are authoring a fiction about a person who no longer exists. And the cruelest part? That person, the one you've been slowly erasing, can't object. They're already gone. Pull out a photograph, not from last year, from 7 years ago. Look at the person staring back at you, their beliefs, their politics, their God or absence of one, the things they were absolutely, non-negotiably certain about, the hills they said they would die on. Now ask yourself, how many of those hills are rubble? We call this growth. We frame it as evolution, wisdom. We say, I was young, I didn't know any better, but strip away the comfort. What actually happened is that your values, the architecture of your moral identity, were replaced, quietly, incrementally, the way termites hollow a wall before it collapses. You didn't consciously choose your new beliefs any more than you chose your old ones. You absorbed them from a new city, a new relationship, a new algorithm that knew what to feed you before you did. The shadows around you shifted, and you shifted with them, and you called it character development. But character development implies an author. Who was steering? If the answer is the environment, the algorithm, the person I was sleeping with, then the self you're defending wasn't yours to begin with. It was borrowed, and the debt came due when the lender changed. Here is the third layer, the darkest one, every version of you that died. You never mourned them. You should have. The 22-year-old who believed they would change something. Where is the funeral? The person who loved freely before the betrayal taught them to audit every kindness. Who wept at that burial? The version of you who still called home before distance calcified into silence. Was there a eulogy? No, because we don't recognize these deaths. We call them phases. We say we outgrew them. We laugh at old photos with an embarrassment that is, underneath the performance, something much closer to grief. You are a graveyard walking. Every step forward is a step over the body of who you used to be. And the ones who loved the previous version, the friends who fell away, the partner who stayed too long, the parent who keeps calling the person you no longer are, they are grieving someone you have already buried without ceremony. The lines you drew of yourself year after year don't connect into a coherent portrait. They are 7 different sketches, 7 different faces, stacked on top of each other, none of them lining up. Think of one thing you believed, completely, totally, without question 7 years ago. Not a preference, a conviction. Something you would have argued at midnight. Something you organized your life around. Now, locate where that belief lives in you today. Is it still load-bearing, or is it rubble? And here's what I need you to sit with. Not for comfort, but for clarity. The you who held that conviction was as certain as you are right now. They had reasons. They had evidence. They had a story, they were sure. And they were already disappearing. So here is the question that has no clean answer. If every cell rebuilds, every memory rewrites, every value drifts, if the person you were 7 years ago would not recognize your current convictions, your current face, your current version of the story you both call your life, then what exactly are you defending when you say this is who I am? What is the thread? Is there a thread? Or are you just the latest sketch in a series that started before you were conscious and will end before you know it? Each version absolutely certain they were the real one. Each version wrong. The lines never stopped moving. You just stopped noticing. When did you last look?